The PlayStation 5, this was released in November 2020, and to be honest, there wasn't a whole pile pulling me towards it back then. Back then, there wasn't really a whole pile of games that were coming out that I wanted to get, but with a few announcements that were made recently enough, and with the release of the PlayStation 5 Slim, I thought now is the time to get a PlayStation 5. So in this video, I'm going to have a wee discussion about the PlayStation 5 and if it's worth picking up in 2024. So back in 2020, there wasn't really a whole pile pulling me towards the PlayStation 5. There were a few games coming out at the time that I was intrigued by, but nothing that really made me want to drop the better part of 700 beans on a new console. One of these games at the time was Demon's Souls. Now I am a big fan of From Software and the Soulsborne games, but this wasn't really enough to kind of make me want to get a PlayStation 5 at the time. Since then, there has been a ton of games that have came out that I am very interested in, but because over the last few years, a majority of the games that were coming out on PlayStation 5 were also available on PlayStation 4. That being said though, since picking up the PlayStation 5, I have noticed the technology shift, shall we say, between the 4 and the 5, especially when it comes to like load times and rendering and stuff like that. James and I both played Elden Ring. I was playing it on PlayStation 4 and he was playing on PlayStation 5. I'd say he could have got through the game a lot faster if he wasn't waiting on my load times, but that's neither here nor there. That's just kind of one of the big things that I've noticed. That being said though, there's going to be a load of games coming out over the next year or two, well especially 2024. We're going to get the Silent Hill remake, and then later on down the line we're going to get GTA 6 at some point. So I imagine all these games are going to be PlayStation 5 exclusives, because the animation, the rendering, I'd say, oh, that's going to be like next level stuff. And I'd imagine trying to run GTA 6 on a PlayStation 4, your fucking house will be taken off to the moon. So I'd say all these kind of graphically demanding games are going to be PS5 exclusives. Another big thing along with the PlayStation 5 as well is that I was really mostly playing a mixture of PC and Switch gaming. The Switch obviously has taken off and has outsold the PlayStation 5 so far. That being said though, obviously in the last 3 years there has been a global pandemic, and all that has affected sales for the PlayStation 5 without any shadow of a doubt. That being said though, at the time of recording this, they've just broken the 50 million sales mark, so they have outsold the Xbox Series X, which, you know, I didn't think is that hard because that hasn't done very well this cycle. But the Switch is still remaining undefeated. That's up at like nearly 150 million. Obviously, Nintendo have kind of went through a bit maybe a shift in the last few years when it came to third-party software developers and all that jazz. And I think they found it easier to kind of produce Switches, and obviously during the pandemic I think a lot of people found it easier to get Switches, and they were wanting to kind of play Mario and all this stuff, so you know, I think that's basically helped in Nintendo's favour. But overall, I've had this PlayStation 5 Slim for the better part of 2 months, and I am enjoying a load of the games that have came out for it so far. I have been playing the absolute shit out of Alan Wake 2. This one kind of snuck up on me because I only kind of was made aware of it when all the Game of the Year awards were happening. I was like, fuck, there's an Alan Wake 2. And I played the first one, I wasn't overly fussed about it, but then when seeing trailers and reviews and stuff for Alan Wake 2, and then it was on offer, you know, I had to kind of put 2 and 2 together, pull the trigger and get this game, and I'm glad I did, because you can really see that next gen in this game. The ray tracing, the lighting, just the overall ambience of the thing is amazing. So thoroughly enjoying Alan Wake 2, and I've been playing a load of Spider-Man 2. So I never really played the first Spider-Man game. I played Miles Morales for a bit with the kids because they were the ones who were really wanting it. But again, for that next gen feel, I had to get Spider-Man 2 because again it looked absolutely glorious on PlayStation 5. Some of the graphics, the textures, the shading, even like the combat and all that stuff, just had to get it. So I'm going to stop rambling on it because I feel like I'm just talking shite. Have you got a PlayStation 5? Are you getting one? Are you going to pick one up in 2024? Let me know down below. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.